Hello everyone, my name is Jerry, and I've always been fascinated by big machines and natural forces. Today, I want to share the story of how I learned about creating energy from water through hydropower, a discovery that changed the way I see rivers. Forever, I grew up near a large river that flowed past my hometown, like a silver ribbon stretching across the land. All my life, I thought of the river as something peaceful, a place for fishing, swimming, and watching the sunset. But one summer, when our school visited a nearby hydropower dam, I realized that the river carried a power far greater than I had ever imagined. The dam was enormous. Its concrete walls rose high into the sky, holding back millions of liters of water from the massive reservoir behind it. As our class approached the site, we could hear a deep, steady roar. It wasn't frightening, it was the sound of energy in motion. I didn't know it then. But this visit would spark my curiosity and lead me into a world of engineering and clean energy. Our guide for the day was a hydropower engineer named Mr. Lawson. He greeted us with a friendly smile and said, "Today, you're going to see how moving water becomes electricity." Those words instantly caught my attention. I had learned about electricity in science class, but seeing it created right in front of me felt completely different. We started at the top of the dam, where the reservoir stretched endlessly into the horizon. Mr. Lawson explained that the height of the water behind the dam creates potential energy, similar to a ball sitting at the top of a hill. When the water is released, gravity pulls it down, converting potential energy into kinetic energy, the energy of motion. That fast-moving water is what powers the entire system. Next, we followed him down into the powerhouse, the heart of the hydropower station. Inside, huge pipes called penstocks carried water from the reservoir down toward the turbines. The sound of water rushing through them was deep and powerful, like thunder trapped underground. Mr. Lawson pointed to a massive metal structure in front of us, the turbine. "This is where the magic begins," he said. As water flows through the penstock and hits the turbine blades, it causes them to spin rapidly. The turbine is connected to a generator, and when it spins, the generator converts this mechanical motion into electrical energy. I watched the turbine spin behind thick protective glass, amazed at how such a simple idea, moving water, could produce so much electricity. It was like watching the river's strength being transformed into something new. After the turbine does its job, the water flows out of the powerhouse and returns to the river, continuing its journey downstream. "We borrow the water's energy," Mr. Lawson said, "but we don't use up the water itself." That part amazed me. Unlike burning fuel, hydropower doesn't pollute or consume the resource. The river continues to flow, and the cycle continues. We then visited the control room, where engineers monitored screens showing water levels, electricity output, and turbine performance. Mr. Lawson explained that the amount of electricity generated depends on how much water is released. During rainy seasons, the reservoir fills up, allowing the dam to produce more power. During dry seasons, engineers must carefully balance water use to ensure there is enough for both electricity and daily life. One of my classmates asked if dams harm the environment. Mr. Lawson nodded thoughtfully. "Hydropower is clean," he said, "but building a dam does change the surrounding areas. We always have to study the ecosystem, protect fish, and make sure the water flow stays healthy." I appreciated his honesty. It reminded me that every technology, even clean ones, must be designed responsibly. As the tour ended, I stood by the edge of the dam and looked down at the rushing water below. I imagined the turbine spinning, the generator humming, and electricity flowing through wires to homes, schools, and hospitals. It felt incredible to realize that something as natural as flowing water could power entire communities. After that trip, my interest in hydropower grew stronger. I began reading more about dams in different parts of the world, massive ones like the Three Gorges Dam in China, Hoover Dam in the United States, and a Tapu Dam on the border of Brazil and Paraguay. These structures generate unbelievable amounts of electricity, using only the force of water. I also learned about smaller hydropower systems, used in remote villages where large dams cannot be built. These micro-hydro installations are simple but effective. They use small rivers to power generators that supply electricity to local homes. I love the idea that even a small stream could bring light to people's lives. Inspired by everything I learned, I built a tiny hydropower model for my science fair. Using cardboard, a plastic bottle, and a miniature turbine, I created a simple version of a dam. When I poured water through the bottle, the turbine spun and lit up a small LED. It was a small moment of success, but it felt like I had captured a piece of the river's power with my own hands. Today, whenever I walk by a river, I no longer see just flowing water. I see potential clean, renewable, and limitless. Hydropower taught me that nature holds solutions to our biggest challenges, and it's up to us to understand and use them wisely. And that is the story of how I discovered the incredible power of hydropower, a journey that began with curiosity and turned into inspiration.